overwhelmingly essential. And so with that being said, we just want to welcome you one and all. And as you are coming on board, you can't do this on the website, but you can do it on YouTube and you can do it on Facebook. Please be so kind to share. By doing so, that enables this broadcast, that enables this teaching, that enables this experience to expand your territory and allows the word of the Lord that is being manifested in you to be a part of their lives as well. And so with that being said, we just want to welcome you one and all. Welcome into this place. Welcome into this broken vessel. And so again, thank y'all so much for being here on this evening. It's still a wonderful evening. Yes, it's chilly, but it's still a wonderful evening. Yes, it's cold, but it's still a wonderful evening. And with that being said, we just want to welcome you into this moment, into this opportunity for us to be able to come and to share with you on tonight the word of the Lord as instructions have been provided and given. And so we thank God for each and every one of you. Okay? And so we're grateful and thankful. Move that out of the way. Amir, how are you? Linda, thank you so much for being here with us on YouTube. We appreciate that very, very, very much. And Stephanie, good evening, good of the evening to each and every one of you. Jemison, good to see you, my friend. We are grateful to God for you, okay? And Elder Carter, Rhonda, Debbie Johnson, bless you. Kathy Wilson, we see y'all. As the old song used to say, come on in the room. Andrea, Mary, bless your heart. Tell that little girl we said hello. Carletta, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being a part of this evening experience. Yeah, I have to excuse me. I have to kind of look. And I say this every single week, and I don't do it. But I have another tablet that I could use. I just need to get the appropriate holder because I don't think what I have for my iPhone is appropriate or capable of holding it. So, with that being said, thank you, one and all, for being a part of this moment and being a part of this sharing. Cecile, how are you? What's the weather like in Texas? I know it's kind of different everywhere, but it is what it is, and we are grateful it is as well as it is, because it could be a whole lot worse. And so we're thankful and grateful for each and every one of you. So, welcome. And Carolyn, how are you this evening? Are you staying warm? We want to make sure that you stay well and that all continues to go well with you. Kathy, make sure you tell Mahogany we said hello. And we're grateful that things are as well as they are. And Sabrina, how are you? You being good? Giovanni, thank you so much for letting us know that all is well and that we're running up to snuff. We appreciate that so much. Thank you. So come on here, y'all, because I'm going to get started here in just a moment. Jasmine, sweetheart, how are you? Are you taking care of yourself? And just wanted to, just holler out at you and tell you that I love you, girl, and I appreciate you more than you'll ever know. Trinette, tell your husband we said hello. And again, thankful for you one and all. And again, please share. Please share if you don't mind. That would be great. If you would do that, that would help me out absolutely tremendously. Tremendously. And thank you again for Yolanda. Bless you. Thank you so much for being with us on this cold but wonderful evening. Tom, bless your heart. Good to see you, sir. Praying that all is going well with you. Making sure you stay in out trouble. And I'll check with Gladys on the other side of that. Juanita, good evening to you. I pray that all is going well with you and that you're holding it down. God has positioned you to be an example and a light in the midst of dark and craziness. I think you know what I'm talking about. As I looked at today's lesson, and there's one passage of scripture that I'm going to use. I'm not going to use it yet. And the reason I'm not going to use it yet is because I want to talk about something. I want to delve into something. Laverne, bless your heart. Thank you so much for being here. I think it's was it the snapshot? I appreciate that, Laverne. It was a sidebar. It really wasn't supposed to be what it was. Ayana, bless you, dear. And but it ended up being what it was, and I'm grateful to God for that. Okay. Thank you, Kathy. I appreciate that so much. Have you ever wished that in your younger years of life, Timothy, that you would have actually did better with your life if you had a little more trust in God? Minister Faith Thornton, bless your heart. Pat Axel, praying for you, dear. Stay strong. Thea, welcome. I want us, Deborah Toomer. Myself, this month I'll be 69 years old, and I am grateful to God. I'll tell y'all a little story. Lisa Finney, tell your daughter I'm looking for her to be on tonight, Minister Sarah Jenkins. When we took the little boy to the hospital, and we were sitting there, and the doctor, who I thought was just amazing. Okay, LMA, sweetheart, how are you? And I'm sitting there with Treyana, and she turns around and says, Veronica, bless your heart for being here with us. Okay. And so I told her, who I was. No, she said, "Oh, you're the mother, right?" She's like, "Yeah." Cynthia, bless you. Thank you for being here. And she said, "Well, then who are you?" I said, "I'm his great grandfather." And she's like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah. I'm not his grandfather. I'm his great grandfather." And it kind of took her aback, and the reason it did, y'all know the phrase and the saying. I'm not gonna say it, but you know what we say. And I thought about the fact that if I would have just been a little smarter. Lady Harrison, how are you this evening? Janet, good to see you. Tell your daughter I'm looking for her to be on here tonight. If I would have, if I would not have had just a form or the ritual of godliness. What do I mean by that? I was born and raised in the church. Now let's just call it the way it need to be called. Born and raised, but what would my life, and I can't change anything. Doe, bless you, dear. Hope you staying out of trouble down there in Midland. What would my life have been like? What would my decisions have been? How would I see Veronica, bless you. I knew somebody was gonna say it, but I was trying to stay away from that because she's Asian, okay, and you know they age quickly, and if I would have believed, because I didn't, that God knew what He was doing, what would my life have been like? Now, I don't know if anybody else does this, but I do evaluations of myself. The one thing that I have learned as I grow in the Lord, excuse me, as I grow in the Lord. Okay, sweetheart. As I grow in the Lord, is evaluating. And that's a part of the Gamaliel training that I had and Ohio Organizing Collaborative training, is that whenever you have something, you always evaluate it to see what can you do better the next time. And I evaluate myself all the time. How could I preach better? How can I teach better? How can I lead better? And that leads me to getting different things and materials and going places. I haven't been anywhere in a while, and God knows I can't wait to do it again so that somebody can pour into me so I can pour into you. But what would my life have been? There you go, girl. I was looking for you. Love you too, young lady. Where in life, where would I be if I believed that God knew what He was doing? How many times have I questioned Him? How many times have I gotten mad at Him? See, Ella May, how many times have I said, you really don't know what you're doing? Oh, I gotta get us to think about that for just a moment. I know it's a little boring tonight, but sometimes we gotta have some boring moments, because guess what? Hey, John, how are you, my friend? I can't turn back the hands of time. I think there's a song that even talks about if I could. Was that Luther Vandross? I can't remember who it was, but don't y'all start thinking about Luther, okay? And so, habits, hey, Cora, that I developed. Trying to fit in, trying to be cool, trying to be accepted. What if I would have believed that God... How do I deal with God when He don't do what I want done? Or, in His permissive will, He permits tragedy to happen. How could I have trusted God better with my father on his deathbed, and rather than being angry with him because of it, I would grow in the midst of it. Daryl Jones, how are you this evening? If I would have actually believed that God knew what he was doing, how could I have I would have been better able to control my anger. Now I know for some of you, y'all don't never get angry with God. Okay. When I watched my mother deteriorate horrifically through dementia and Alzheimer's, how can I say he's a good God when I had so many things that were out of my control? I could not stop my father's cancer. I could not stop my mother's dementia. I could not Cher had a song. If I could, okay, turn. See, I couldn't turn back the hands of time that when my sister died at 38. And I went to church, but I didn't believe God knew what he was doing. I actually, Goalie, how are you this evening, my friend? I believe that God was wrong. I believe that he was unfair. I believe that, even with the way my mother-in-law passed, she was sharp-tongued, okay? But I loved her, and she loved me as a son. She called me son all the time because she never had a boy. She had girls. And the way she passed and the way that it has still affected some family members. What if I would have, Daryl Johnson, knew that God, or trusted that God knew what he was doing? Would it have changed my demeanor? Would it have changed my outlook? Matter of fact, would it have changed my interactions with people? Would it have caused me to be more kind, more loving, not lashing out, not being angry, not being mad? I know I'm bored. I know, Laverne, you say I'm never boring, but I know I'm boring some of you because you're probably like, yeah, all of that. Let's get to the shout. No, I got to deal with the fact that there have been times in my life, and I'm dealing with me, I'm not dealing with anybody else, when I honestly believed that God didn't know what he was doing. Psalm 90 verse 12 is a very powerful passage that I want us to look at. Psalm 90 verse 12. Teach us to number our days, that we may gain a heart of wisdom. Teach us to number our days, that we may gain a heart. Teach us. You when it talks about teach us to number our days, God is basically saying for us to think about the level of grace that has been granted to us. Think about the fact that he's been good to us in spite of us. We need to think about the fact that as time is going on, we need to recognize that we do not know how to calculate how many days we've got left. Listen to me. And death is not predicated upon age, but position. Now, I'm going to mess y'all up with that. David said, all of us are one step away from death. That's a position. And so what we've got to get and what we've got to understand and what we've got to recognize, since we now have this knowledge, what brought it? What did it take? what had to happen to get us to do evaluations, especially as we have gotten older. For some of us have gotten older, that we couldn't comprehend when we were, when you're young, you're going to live forever. When you're young, you're full of vitality. When you're young, nothing can stand in your way. But time has a way of teaching you stuff that you didn't want to learn. I talked to a whole lot of people. I talked to a whole lot of people that have all these regrets. I even have my own that I have to deal with from time to time. And so in the midst of this, what am I doing? I gotta calculate the fact that God has already given me so many years. But the fact that I don't know how many I have left needs to do something to me so that I can manage better what's left, better than what has already taken place. I should, through time, trial, trouble, learn that there are some things I cannot control. There are some things I cannot manage. There are some things so teach me, Lord, to recognize clearly in the midst of where I am in life, death and eternity are skyrocketing in my son, the baby boy, is 45. I remember when he was 5 months. Time. Lady Harrison, if I'm wrong, I hope he's 45. Time. My oldest is 51 or 52, and the time. I get. Do I have anybody that's catching this? Because things were happening, Lena, so fast. And we're trying to make ends meet, and we're trying to raise our children, and we're trying to buy a home, and we're trying to have more things, and we're trying to accomplish. And in the midst of the haste, okay, in the midst of the haste to manage life, life was actually managing us, because there were instances when God wasn't fair. There were instances when God wasn't right. Teach me to number my days. Teach me how to manage what I got left better than what I've left. Teach me. Do me a favor, please, if you don't mind. If you don't mind, I know I'm working your nerves, but can you put in the chat, please, Lord, teach me. Just, Lord, teach me. And so now that pain has showed up, now that cataracts have showed up, now that hernias have showed up, and now that collapsed lungs have showed up, and now when colon rupturing shows up, and now when replacements show up, okay, God, ooh, Lord have mercy. And I'm just talking about me. I don't know what you had to go through for God to wake you up, to let you know He really does know what He's doing. When all of these things show up, and then the shortness of breath, okay? Doris, the inability to go through a day like you used to. You remember how I remember in my life how I could just do stuff from sun up to sundown. Now I want the sun to go down quick. Okay? I come home now from a day. I remember when my day started at 7 a.m. and wouldn't end until 11 p.m. Now my days may start at that time, but they end a whole lot quicker now. Why? Because the inabilities of life, the decay of physical capability, become evident, and they teach us that with what we've got left, we better know how to manage it. Hey, Latanya, how are you? Teach, listen, because guess what? Y'all can't teach me this. Teach me how to be kinder. Teach me how to be more effective. Teach me how to be more influential in a good way. Teach me, Gelada. Teach me how to go through this thing better than what I've been doing before. Teach me that I ain't always right. Whew. Lord, have mercy. Teach me. Teach me that don't get upset when you can't accomplish everything you planned on doing, because you don't have the strength to do it anymore. Teach me to quit getting upset over stuff you can't. Teach me to number my days. We got to number the days so we can comprehend the work that we do in them. I talked about this, okay? I talked about this in the snapshot. The fact that now that we are getting older, we should have more influence. We should be able to manage life and people and things better than when we were hot-headed and young. Mary Green, we should be able to think through things better. We should be able to evaluate things better. We should be able to love our families, even the unlovable ones, better. We should recognize the importance of things. Teach me to number my days. Teach me how to manage life. Teach me when to sit my behind down and show somebody else how to lead. Teach me that I am not Superman or Wonder Woman. Teach me to embrace where I am, because where I am and who I am is because of what you have allowed me to go through. I need you to teach me to number my days. Teach me that at 69 I can't do what I did at 29. Teach me that it's all right to take a nap and relax and not be stressed all the time and running all over the planet like I used to. Teach me that because I'm at a different point in my life, then the way I live life has to be different. And it says here that if you teach me, then I'll gain wisdom. Some things that I have gone through, and I'm personifying it. I'm personalizing it. I ain't trying to get all up. And Gelada, can I talk? Can we talk for just a moment? Can we talk for just a moment? When we have been the anchors, when we have been the go-to, Elder Carter, when we have been the glue, when we have been the sustainer and all of those things in family and friends and neighborhood and all of that, and deterioration shows up and different things start to happen, you got to deal with guilt. Boy, I hope I'm getting through to y'all. Kathy, I hope, Veronica, I hope I'm getting through to. I hope the Holy Spirit is getting through to us. And Cora, the hardest thing, and what you said is a very powerful thing. It is hard to let go. Let me tell you what happened today. Let me tell you what happened today. For years, I was the one that climbed up on the ladder to hang the wreaths in the sanctuary for years. Climbed up there, did whatever needed to be done. This, for the past 2 years, I haven't climbed on nothing. And the first year that it happened, I said, man, I'm not the man that I used to be. And then it hit me. Y'all ready for this? I don't have to be. I don't have to be. I don't have to be what I was because I was good at what I was. Now I got to be good at where I am. Listen, I'm about ready to run around my basement on that. You hear what I said? And Gelada, I'm telling you, it's difficult to let go of the reins. It's difficult to put them in the hands of somebody else, but our hands ain't as strong as they used to be. Our minds are not as quick as, I got a 3-year-old that can outthink me on an iPad. A 3-year-old. And so what I've come to understand is that I need wisdom. How do I manage where I am and be effective where I am, rather than looking back at what I used to be, wishing I was still there? Teach me so that I might gain a heart of wisdom. You know, I can't think of his name. A young man grew up with my son, worked in the Gamaliel Foundation. He worked someplace else. He used to call me Morpheus. And if you've ever watched, oh God, I can't even think of the name of the show. The movie Morpheus was the wisdom faith person who believed what no one else would. Oh, y'all not catching this. Morpheus believed that a person was going to come to rescue Zion when everything else was falling apart, because the world was being taken over by machines and and all of these different things. Morpheus was the one, when everybody else would not believe, could not believe, would not believe, was the only one who said, but the person is coming. And even in the moments when things went crazy, Matrix, thank you, The Matrix. Thank you so much, Talata. Shoot, I might watch that. No, ain't no need me tell no lie. I'm talking about I'm going to watch that tonight. It'll be watching me. See, I see things in movies. Maybe that's why I don't go to a whole lot of them, because I don't really enjoy them for what other people see, because I'm so busy analyzing them. And so Morpheus had the wisdom and the faith to believe. Guess where I am? I ain't quite sure about all the wisdom, but God knows I got more faith. I'm not sure. I'm sure, Chaplain Hearns, that I don't always think through things like I should, but I think through them better than I used to. The Matrix. Listen, am I helping anybody? And so, rather than getting upset over the fact that I can climb the ladder, I can still hang the wreaths, I can still do it. But now I make a choice. I am expendable. Some of the damages that took place in my knee was working there at the church. My knee went bad when it got caught trying to come out of one of the cubby holes. That's how that happened. And so in the midst of this, you need wisdom. You need wisdom. How do you navigate this better? How do you do whatever when When all of the stuff happened, little critters came. Normally, I would call up somebody and let them come out here and do it. We're gonna start paying people for what I used to do for nothing. And I had to deal with the guilt of feeling ineffective. I had to deal with the guilt of feeling non-productive. But what I came to terms with is my level of productivity has a new persona, has a new face, has a new input, has a new effect. Do you hear what I'm saying? I'm not back here talking about, oh my God, I wish I could again. I wish I could again. I wish I could. No, I'm all right where I am. Because where I am is more powerful than where I was. Because now I've got something to share. Thank you, Gelada. And whatever ain't getting done, somebody else gonna do it. I wish I had somebody. And this doesn't mean, and we're not talking about being lazy and letting everything fall apart. That's just plain trifling laziness. That's all it is. Ain't nothing else but that. But when you've been a productive person, I'm not talking about a couch potato. I'm not somebody that plays video games all day, sits on their behind, and tells everybody else what to do. I ain't talking to you. I'm talking to the productive people. I'm talking to the people who are used to handling things. I'm talking to the people who knew how to do stuff. And you got to remember, wisdom is the appropriate use of knowledge. You got to do that. And so no. Listen, let me tell you how wisdom works. Okay. When my car got totaled, I needed to get another road car. That's what that other car is for. It's a road car to run up and down the road. And I was going to get this other car, but the problem was, and you can say, oh, you just became accustomed to it. No, I can't get in and out of a car as easy as I used to. So I need the seats that go back on their own. Okay. Or have the power that I can just do that so I can get in and out of the car. I get in and out of the car different now than what I used to. Why? Because that's how I have to do it. Once you have damaged something, you learn from it. When I go up and down the steps at the church, or I go up and down the steps at my home, at our home, I remember the days when I could barely walk. I remember the days when it took me forever to go up and down those steps. And so what do? I learn from it. Little legend will turn around and say, Grandpa, now you be careful because I don't want you to fall. I said, man, I ain't trying to fall. He said, me either. Wisdom you impart into people. You pour into people. You show people what they can be, even when they can't see. Am I talking to anybody? Am I talking? Because what? I have to have a heart of wisdom. I can't have a heart of regret. I can't have a heart of, oh, I wish I would have. You can't do nothing about what you used to be. You can't do nothing about what you used to do. You can't do nothing about where you used to go. All you can do is learn from those experiences. Allow God to transform you to recognize that now you are taking the knowledge that you have and appropriately applying it in not only just your life. Hey, Gwenny, how are you, dear? Not only just your life, but in the lives of people who come your way. So that you can become Morpheus and not get bent out of shape. That I may gain a heart of wisdom. Wisdom will keep you from doing dumb stuff. Wisdom will keep you from saying dumb stuff. Wisdom will keep you out of trouble. That's all I really wanted to share with you on tonight. I needed you to get this and to understand this and to recognize the power of it, because I'm telling y'all, and we sing that song, time is filled with, swift transitions have swiftly taken place. And in the midst, Erica, of them, I got to learn how to be patient. I got to learn how to practice serious godliness. I got to learn how to be less religious and more like Jesus. I have to learn what to apply to my heart. And let me give you this, because I was getting ready to leave, but this popped in my spirit. I also have to learn what not to allow to attach itself to my heart. Because in my dumb days, in my young stupid days, I allowed the wrong things to attach. Here's what you can do. I get a lot of young people who sit down and talk to me. And the reason they talk to me is because, number one, I'm the pastor. Of course, that level of authority brings with it a willingness for people to listen. But I'm trying to keep them from making the same mistakes I did. I'm trying to get them to understand that they don't have to drink themselves to death. They don't have to stay high all the time. They don't have to do that. Life is more important than anesthetizing yourself. Because if you stay drunk and high, it's because you're hiding from something, or you're running from something, or something you don't want to deal with. So I talk to them. I want them to know in no uncertain terms, I've been where you are. I understand the financial strain of your habit. Costs a lot of money to smoke. Costs a lot of money to drink. Especially if you're, doing whatever you're doing. Ain't nothing cheap no more. I came up in the age of cheap liquor. Now, what do I mean by that? I ain't talking about the liquor was cheap. I'm talking about it didn't cost as much. And so what we're trying to do is to get them to understand and to recognize, man, listen, I tell them all the time, you don't want to walk in my shoes. Please avoid them. And let me show you how to avoid them. You teach them how to remove the obstacles that tripped you up. And you teach them that the same God who loves you, who has forgiven you, who has sustained you, is the same God that will do this for them. Love y'all so much. I thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of kind of a deep moment, but a moment that I think was necessary. Quit living in guilt. Quit living in the past. Your future will be better than your past. Stay warm, y'all, because it's getting ready to get even colder. Take care of yourself. And, I can't think of his name. The newscaster said, take care of yourself and take care of each other. And that's some powerful stuff. Live in the power of the Holy Ghost. Live in the anointing of the Spirit of God. And watch God transform your life. Love y'all. Stay strong. In the name of the Lord. May God bless you. May He keep you. Is our prayer. Stay strong.